podcast character designs done by Demon Artie. Be sure to follow her over on Twitter at ArtieDemon. Welcome everyone back to the Crimson 15 podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sen.
MVTPCA.
A454.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit that bell for notifications. Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1, and it's cool.
It was just as good as the first season so
Does
far.
it move the story forward in any way? No, not really, but it was still a fun Star Wars story. And then that's all I want, really, for the most part.
Yeah, no, we're not asking much.
Yeah, it was perfect.
I thought there was a lot of twists and turns where I'm thinking, it's going to go this way, it's going to go that way. But, yeah, the special effects, that corn dragon thing, that's one of the coolest looking things.
It looked so real. It looked awesome.
Movie quality badassery. This monster thing is huge.
Yeah, it's almost like they didn't skip on it, what you would expect they would for a TV series. It's perfect.
But, so, like, overall, again, just another great episode to add to the rest of the episodes of The Mandalorian. And then, again, it has that old Western feel, but it fits perfectly
in Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. I tried to do this in Trek a couple of times, and it's like, I don't like this kind of like, I'm coming into a town, and I'm going to figure things out.
That's not what they do in Star Trek.
No, it's not, but they're doing that in Discovery Season 3. So, we open up with basically what we had in the beginning, remember? Where there's like that fight we saw in the trailer.
Yeah, the arena.
So I guess we remember he was tasked to return the child back to its people. So no one knows what the hell this thing is. Like no one's ever seen another one of these things. So he's looking for other Mandalorians who have underground networks. It's like if I get in contact with my people again, they might know something. So
and I can go through the network of other Mandalorians to get to where I need to get to with it.
So there's a guy in this place, and I guess they're running like an underground fighting thing. So he goes in there and just like in the trailer or whatever, he's talking to this guy, and I do like the fact that he's like, "Oh, are you a gambling man?" And he's like, "No, I'm here to pay for the information." But I guess he's gonna get him because of course because he wants his armor. He's like, "Oh, give me your armor." He's like, and I'm like, "Well, you don't know Mandalorians very well, do you?" But he goes he's gonna betray him. Because I guess this guy likes that Beskar armor.
Yeah, he sells it.
He goes, and the price keeps going up and up and up and up. And that's what he does. They hunt Mandalorians, and he loves the armor. You damn fool.
Yeah, I know. I like hunting really extreme warriors and steal their stuff. That's not a smart
warriors that are really cool that can kill a group of regular people. But yeah, I like to do that.
Know what I love most about this whole scenario? He has him like dead to rise off his guns to his head, and then the Mandalorian's like, "You tell me where the other Mandalorian is, and I won't kill all of you." Even though they have like all the guns on them, and they're like, "Oh, like in the way they're like, oh, you're no place to negotiate."
You never seen such cool moves in Star Wars when Luke Skywalker told out the Jabba the Hutt when they had him on the platform.
Yeah,
like surrender now, and
I'll let you live.
He's like, but he does. He has his little songbirds, and again in the trailer, like the child sees it. He's like, "Whoop," his little button.
It's going down.
I know, yeah.
He's so endearing.
I love that little dude. He's so cool. So he gets all those dudes, and then of course he runs away. We get a fun little fight scene. Dude is punching him
in the face,
bro. Maybe the whole thing, like, oh, maybe he's thinking, well, that Mandalorian army can't be as strong as people say it is. Then like punching a iron pole, dunk, bunk.
Yeah, and I mean, it might mess up the person inside like a little bit, but it's not like
don't be punching the Mandalorian.
Don't be punching that.
He takes these fools out. I love that little vibration dagger.
Yeah, so he chucks it.
You got the dude right in the heart. He got that dude. And the other guy's like running away.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's like kind of shuffling and running, and then you see the Mandalorian just turn the corner. You're done.
You're done.
Don't even worry about it. You messed up now. You done messed up.
He hooks him up with the little tow rope thing and pulls him up with the line. Oh, I'll tell you anything, whatever. It's almost like, oh, now we're negotiating now. And he's like, "Oh, just promise me you won't kill me." And I just love the Mandalorian. "Oh, you won't die by my hand." I'm like, oh. When he said that, I'm thinking, oh, something's up.
Yeah, he's gonna kill him some other way.
And he's like, "Oh, that other Mandalorian, the only one I know of, is on Tatooine."
And everyone's like, "Ooh."
All the fans are like, "Oh."
That's how you do things like that.
That's how you make callbacks that are cool.
Yeah. Yes.
Because we're all thinking Boba Fett.
The
Fett Man. We're thinking the Fett Man.
Everyone's thinking that.
So and then he's like, okay, and he's like, I promise on whatever that's because I've been to Tatooine plenty of times. I've never seen a Mandalorian there. He's like, I'm telling you, my intel's good. I know for a fact. And he's like, okay. He starts to walk away, and he's like, Mandalorian, you can't leave me like this. And he's like,
he's hung upside down, by the way.
He's like, he's had him all hung up, and he's like, then he shoots out the light, and he's like, no, don't do this. And you see like all these little creatures. I guess they live in the darkness, and they're gonna.
And you saw the creatures a little bit before too. That like red eyes.
Yeah, they're gonna eat this guy.
They're gonna totally eat this dude.
Well, he kept his word. He said, "I wouldn't do it by my hand."
Oh,
that's what you get when you try to kill me.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was gonna pay him too. He was gonna pay him for the
He's like, yeah, I was gonna pay you. So yeah, that's what you get. You don't try to double cross a Mandalorian.
Yeah, and I love the fact that he did that because it makes him just like, you're badass.
And it was dishonorable too, because you brought me here under false pretenses.
Yeah, you try to kill me and take my armor.
Yeah, they didn't learn the lesson like those other people in the first season when they all got killed too. You don't do that to a Mandalorian. You don't betray him.
We get our spaceport lady again.
Yeah.
She's super fun. I like her crazy hair and everything. And I like the fact that it lands and then the little droids are running out there. And she's like, don't. He doesn't like droids. He's like, oh, it's okay because remember in the last season he kind of learned.
I guess he likes droids now.
How I learned to love the droids. He's like, fine, just let him do the once over. And they're like, and they're running around. Cutesy little fun droid things. Perfection in Star Wars.
Oh, I love every minute of it.
Don't like stupid little droid guys in Trek.
Especially not for the Federation. It's stupid.
And I love how much closer he's getting with the little baby, because now he has like in a satchel. Instead of it would be like in the tube. Now he's getting more personal.
And of course, she sees him like, oh, I love this little guy, because that's. She does what we all want to do. We want to pick him up.
Yeah.
Come here, little dude. I want to get you. So she grabs him, and I like the fact that she's like, if this thing ever like multiplies or something, I'll buy the babies. I want this thing. I'll pay for it.
And even a little before that, she goes, I know you're saying, I know you're not, but I want it. I'm just saying, but I do really want it. See, it's she's charming.
We all, because she's saying what we're all doing. We want we want a little baby. We all want a baby Yoda of our own that run around our house and grab things and eat frogs and do all that kind of stuff. But he's like, hey, I need to find out where this place is. El Pascal, whatever. Because she's like, well, no one said that name in a long time, because after the Empire fell, everything just became a cluster, a complete cluster.
And then people that were the criminal factions started taking over.
And settlements that were there aren't there anymore. So since she calls over her like an R5 unit, get over it. And I like the fact she's like, man, it's any time now, because it's like all that kind of banter, silliness, perfection in Star Wars.
Well, and also, and Tatooine's not a like great like technology place, so you're not going to get the best of technology, so it's going to be slow.
So she has a pre-Empire map, and then I love the thing. Oh, this is Mos Eisley. This is like, oh, Mos Eisley. When you say these little things, it makes the fans smile. It makes them happy, and it's not ham-fisted, because it would make sense for her to say these other places.
Yeah.
Then she's like, oh, this is where this other place is, and he's like, I see nothing. She's like, it's there. It's a little mining town. The maps are all, because it's like a small place. There's not a lot of things there. It goes, but this is what it's going to be. And they're like, they're going to see you from a mile away if you take your ship. So you have to go by speeder bike. So then we get like the cowboy's journey. So he's driving there. He runs into some Tusken Raiders. They're like at a campfire. So it's like, it's so Western. And I love it.
Awesome.
Every second of it. I mean, you cannot not love this.
And he shows into town. He's riding into town on his speeder bike, but might as well be a horse. Everyone's slowing down and looking at him and everything. It's so Western.
Yeah, I know the fact they see a Mandalorian, like, oh my goodness, this is a Mandalorian.
At this point, you'd be surprised to see them peeking out the window, and there's like little things.
Like, hushing the kids.
Yeah, even when you hear the little, like, it sounds like Spurs when they're walking. I love that. Like, that was such a cool touch.
So he walks into the bar, and, you know, he bellies up to the bar, and he goes into the bar, and he's like, I'm looking for a Mandalorian. And I like how the guy goes, well, can you describe him? And he looks like...
looks like me. What do you want me to say?
Because they don't know that Mandalorians don't take their armor off. They only know some of the stories. Mm-hmm. So this thing, oh, what does this guy look like? No, you don't know what a Mandalorian looks like. No. If you find out what a Mandalorian looks like, it's because he's dead. Yeah. That's the only way you can find out.
Because you never take yourself off in front of another human living thing.
Yeah, never. As long as you're in... then that's your armor is you. Then he's like, oh, then you want to talk to the Marshal. And he's like, what do you mean that? Then we see the armor. I'm like, holy crap, is that Boba the effing Fett? Like,
you see the little antenna and everything.
But I'm thinking to myself, like, why are they calling him a Marshal? Like, why would he, like, protect this town? Because he was like, I'm like, a million, billion, trillion things are going through my mind. And then you hear him talk, I'm like, that doesn't sound like Boba Fett.
No, and he asked for, like, 2 drinks. I'm like, what's he going to do? How's he going to take it?
The mask.
And then I put a hole through my mask every one.
Then he's like, oh, I've been searching for you. And he's like, oh, and he comes and sits down and he takes his helmet off, and you see
he got like head.
He's like, why are you doing that? Because that would be like, I don't know, like someone doing like a religious text and just like ripping it apart right in front of you, and you're supposed to be like
or yeah, you're like the head of the religious person. You're like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're crumpling it and being like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's almost
Sunday service or something.
Yeah, he's almost like, oh my goodness. Then he's like, oh, he's like, I've never seen a real Mandalorian. I'm like, okay, this guy isn't the owner of this armor.
Yeah.
So we're all thinking, oh man, Boba Fett's dead, like because there's no reason for him not to have his armor.
Yeah, no.
We all know he fell in the Sarlacc pit. And I'm thinking, so I guess this guy must have found the armor somewhere. The Sarlacc must have threw it up or something.
Something, yeah.
So he's talking to him and everything. And this guy's cool. He's from Deadwood. So very Western. So he's from Western to Space Western. And he's like, oh, he's like, I protect these people. This is why I use this armor. And I know, because I know it's probably pissing you off to see me in this, but I'm using it for something good. But man, it's like that's so it's religious.
Yeah. And he also told me, I thought you were going to come here for a fight. And I said, I'm not prepared to fight myself, but I saw you with that other little kid there, creature there. So I figured maybe there's more reasonable. Yeah. That's not normal for Mandalorian to have that.
Yeah, but it's weird. It's like almost like a dishonor if he doesn't try to take that armor from
him. I feel like the fight's like, so you want to do this right here and everything. And like, they're getting ready to like have a... You can just see the tumbleweed roll by and the zoom in on the eyes. But then we get
the tension's amazing.
I love it. It's so cool. So we get a bunch of like an earthquake rumble. It's like, oh, what's going down? And you see outside, and you see like the sand. It's like the ocean almost because how much it's moving. I'm like, oh, there's some. First, I thought it was like maybe a sand walk or some type of machine. No, it's like an animal. Yeah, like even
the one Jabba's used, the Hutt's used. But it wasn't.
No, it's freaking.
And this thing makes a Rancor look like nothing.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what we look like to a Rancor. This is what this thing makes a Rancor look like. That's how far huge this thing is, and it just like goes through the town. Everyone's running away, and it just eats freaking one of the bantha thing. He's just gone. So this thing just eats them like popcorn. Yeah, and those things are pretty big beasts. So like, holy crap. So I'm like, okay, this town has a problem. So here we go. This is the setup. He's like, hey, I've defended this town from raiders and things like that. I can't take this dragon on. I can't. You help me get rid of it, I'll give you the armor.
And that's like, he's okay, like, done deal.
Done deal. That's how important this armor is to him.
Yeah.
Because what does it actually mean? It means nothing, but it means everything to him.
Yes.
I love Mandalorians. They're so cool.
And the fact that he's willing to risk his life to kill this big creature to get the armor back. Because to him, it means nothing if this village goes,
Yeah, exactly.
So they're going to be on their journey to go, and then he explains everything that went down, like why he protects his town. And they're like, yeah, as soon as the Death Star blew up, the second one.
Yeah.
And we see like they keep watching and they're cheering because the Empire sucks because they're occupying force. Mm-hmm. So they're all cheering and everything. He goes, the other entities in this area, they didn't even wait a day.
They waited seconds.
They go, as soon as after the Death Star was down and the Empire pulled out, they came in and turned my camp into a slave camp in a day.
Yep.
Overnight, we got turned to slaves.
And again, that brings up that weird gray area where it's like the Empire were evil, but they were also stopping these people.
Yeah, security.
So it's like, I'm not saying they were great because, the Empire's bad.
Do you want to live under like totalitarian rule, or do you want to live under the rule of bandits and raiders?
Yeah, so that's that question. See, again, you could see both sides of that. It's kind of that weird duality.
So these guys just came in and took over, and he was able to like kind of sneak away, and he grabbed some.
Literally, he grabbed his friend and they killed everyone in this place.
Killed everyone.
But that's that thing. Oh, okay, we just killed everyone here. If you want more of the same, or do be
it's intimidation. That's what it is.
He grabs some like supplies and just takes off into the desert. He wandered for days and days and days, and he gets picked up by some Jawas. And they notice that thing he grabbed. He didn't even know what he grabbed, but I guess it's like these crystals, and they're super valuable. So they're like, hey, we'll trade you this, we'll trade you that. There's like they try to give me anything. Goes. But I saw some armor up there, and I know the Mandalorian armor is like, hey, I want that. It's Boba Fett's armor.
Yeah.
So they must have pulled it out of the Sarlacc. So the Jawas found it.
Either it spit it out or it pooped it out. I don't know.
Yeah, something, and then they got their hands on it. So that's how he got a hold of this armor. So I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, oh man, why is Boba Fett dead?
I know. Everyone wants Boba alive.
Everyone wants the Fett man to be alive. And then he came back to the town wearing the armor. And in my mind, I'm just pretending it's Boba Fett. So because you see the armor and it looks so cool.
It looks like,
And then all the baggers are looking like, oh my goodness.
Everyone's like, holy crap, that's a Mandalorian. And then they're like, they grab their guns and he takes them down because the armor's so good they can't hurt him. Mm-hmm. And then he chases those slavers out of town.
Yeah.
And there's about another 30. They just run away.
And then he gets him.
Gives him the missile, baby.
Boom! I was like, oh, it's so good.
The eyepiece comes out. I love it. Oh, it's so cool.
Oh, it's so good.
It's like he just.
This looks like it came off the set of Return of the Jedi.
I love it. It's so cool. You think you would kind of clean up? So do you like it all beat up?
I think it should be cleaned. It needs to be at least.
Well, how's he gonna clean? He's in a little town.
I know.
He can't get some spray paint.
Spray paint.
Can I get a little something?
He's gotta go down to Walmart and get some spray paint.
So now we know why he protects that town and why he uses the armor. They show up in a canyon and they get off their bikes. They hear noise and they see like these spiky dog creatures or whatever. So they're getting ready to fight, but then the Mandalorian starts like making noises, like wolf noises.
The guy's like, "What are you doing?"
And he goes there, and then they're like dogs. He like pets it and everything. And he's like, "Okay." Then we see a bunch of Tusken Raiders come out, and so they're like, "Oh, they're probably been tracked this whole time, and they didn't even notice they were being tracked by them." But the Tusken Raiders know Mandalorians, so they see the armor, they see the thing. Okay.
And he knows the language, so he's talking with them.
Doing all the. I love the fact that there's no subtitles.
No.
So we're just in the dark as much as the other guy because he's just standing there like, "You want to let me in on this?"
Yeah, but he's like saying what we're saying. What's going on? What are you guys saying? Yeah.
So they find out he's like, they want to get rid of that dragon too. So like, oh hey, the more guns I have pointed at this thing, the better. So they kind of get to camp and they're talking about it and they're trying to come up with strategies and coming up with, okay, what's in it for us? What we're gonna do for you? We gotta work together because this settlement and the Tusken Raiders, they don't like each other.
Yeah,
because
they attacked their settlement, right?
They attacked their settlement, so he's killed some of them. So, but they have a bigger enemy. Because eventually this thing's going to end up killing
pretty soon you're going to run out of livestock, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah, then it's going to just eat you.
Because like when it went through the village, it ate one of those big like Banthas things, and it's like, they can't run out of that stuff. They're going to be really
They're a small town.
Yeah, they need that for food or whatever else they use it for.
So they're sitting around the campfire, and then like they offer him like this drink, and of course, dude, just take it.
Yeah, just drink it.
What is this? And then Mando tells him, "Okay, man, just drink it. They're trying to offer you something. You gotta be part of the tribe."
And he kind of said they know that you killed some of them, so just kind of
let's work together. Oh, this thing stinks. I don't want this. You can't talk. They're monsters. So he like throws a drink down. They start jawing at each other. Stop.
Melanie, stop raising your voice.
He even shoots out the flamethrower. Everyone, shut the hell up. And he's telling him, "What do you tell him? Same thing I'm going to tell you. If we fight amongst each other, this thing's going to kill all of us.
Yeah.
We have to work together." Very Western. You have the cowboys having to work with the Native Americans. Mm-hmm. We have to join forces. Even though we were enemies in the past, we can join forces and fight this thing together.
Exactly.
So they're going to go, and they know where it lives. So they're taking their banthas down there, and I do like the fact that, like, oh, it lives in an old Sarlacc pit. He's like, there's no such thing as an abandoned Sarlacc pit. He's like, it is if you eat it.
Yeah, which we're like thinking like, well, maybe like, but then when we see it, you're like, oh,
okay, this thing can eat Sarlaccs for like it's spaghetti to this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to offer up one of their banthas, and this is how they keep it from their village. So they realize, oh, if we get it to eat this, it sleeps longer. So they like learned its patterns.
Yeah, they said it took them generations, but they know when it needs to eat, so it can at least be for a little while, keep it at bay for a while.
Yeah.
So they go out there, they put the bantha there, and they do like their little call to like wake it up. But then it comes out and eats the Tusken Raider and not the bantha.
Yeah, and it just goes away.
You just wanted a little snack today.
Yeah.
So now they realize, wait a minute, this is a problem. Because if he like starts hunting people, like it just likes eating people. Then,
yeah.
And the thing is, when the guy's running, he's looking back. Don't look back. Just keep running.
You're not gonna outrun this thing.
And I love the fact they carry their weapon at this point, full on sprinter. You're gonna be the guy yelling.
Yeah, get your weapon. It's like shooting I don't know what a toothpick to a human being's skin. Ain't gonna do much.
Or like a whale just got a toothpick.
It's throwing a grape at a gorilla. You're just gonna piss it off. Exactly. So they're like, okay, we gotta come with. I like the fact that they built a little like little thing showing like their plan, and the guy's like, that can't be to scale. I was like, no, that's how big this thing is. He's like, my goodness.
And there's like little pebbles next to this big old skeleton thing.
And he goes, the pebbles, those are us.
He's like, yeah, so we need more. He's like, oh, but how many men they're gonna give us? He's like, we have to provide the men. So they're going to have to go back to the village and get volunteers. So this is like the whole, we have to get everyone to work together. And even though they are enemies, he's like, they respect you. So you need to tell them that we need to fight together.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm not so sure. And he goes,
well, so they get there, they're having the meeting. And he's like, this is a real Mandalorian. And he wants this armor. He's trying to explain the situation. He goes, but he has a problem. This armor belongs to he wants to bring the armor back to his the ancestral home and that. and for exchange, so he doesn't kill all of us, I'll give him the armor. It's like, okay, fine, that's a good idea. There's another problem. There's that dragon thing. We can't kill it on our own, so we joined up with the Tusken Raiders, and they're like, oh no, not them, they're monsters, they raided us. And they're like, no, you don't understand, we all have to work together, so we have to agree to this. And then everyone's kind of like, well, yeah, I guess. I'm glad there wasn't like that, I'm the super racist guy and I just hate them. Like, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
It was just a normal reaction because they just killed us.
And then what the Tusken Raiders said, hey, if you help us, we won't raid you unless you attack us.
Yeah, so it goes, here's the plan. We kill this thing. I give the armor to the Mandalorian. He leaves us alone. The Tusken Raiders promised us that if we take this thing down and we leave them the carcass and everything, they will promise never to raid us again unless we attack first.
Yeah, that's what the Mandalorian said.
And he's like, I know these people. Yes, they are very vicious. Yes, they are raiders, but they keep their word. So if we do all this, we all win.
Yeah, as long as you don't attack them first, you're fine. Because once you do, all bets are off.
Yeah.
So then you know that.
So they're getting all their stuff together. And since they're miners, they have explosives. So that's what they're going to use, and then we see the big giant line of all they travel in straight lines to disguise their numbers. Obi-Wan, you smart bastard!
In greater numbers.
In greater numbers.
You see, oh, there's another one. Another keep coming.
So they all come into town, but that's that moment where it's like, well, these are the people that try to kill us. But they all start working together, and they're loading everything up. One of them drops one. Hey man, what are you doing? Those are explosives. You're trying to get us killed. And even the Marshal guy's like, shut the hell up.
He didn't want to kill us all.
It's an accident.
Yeah, because he would have killed himself too. Why would he do that? That's stupid.
Well, they're just, like that.
They're
classic.
savages.
They're savages. They don't know what they're doing. So they're all loaded up with explosives and everything, and, they're all working together, which is cool. They get to the Sarlacc pit. Then one of the Tusken guys goes up. They're like, oh my god, another guy's going to get eaten. But he listens to the ground and everything. Oh, it's sleeping. So let's set the trap. And I'm thinking, okay, so what they're going to do? I thought maybe they're going to try to crash the pit on it or something, but this is the plan. They dug a giant trench, put all the explosives under there because I guess its underbelly, its weakest point. Yeah. They're going to get it out there, get it to attack them, charge them, and then blow up the thing. Okay, that's a good plan, Yeah.
And then blur it out and they can blow it up.
So they're all getting ready. He ends up drinking that stuff.
Yeah.
They give it to him.
I wonder what it tastes like.
I would have been funny if it had been like, it smells awful, but it tastes good.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
That's got to be a drink at Star Wars Galaxy now.
Yeah, the weird blackness. Yeah.
I like how the Raiders have like these ballista things, the big crossbow things.
Yeah, it's a really weird, because you imagine like going way in the future and having one of those.
But they probably use it to tie down animals and stuff.
Yeah. Remember, they're nomads, so they're going to have equipment that's got to be a little old-fashioned,
So they call it out, and this thing is just fantastic looking. Isn't it just great. Like cool?
It does. It looks so unique and so cool.
It looks like a real creature that you would see, like just the look of it. It doesn't look fake or CGI.
Did it chomp on those dudes?
I think it might have.
But they end up shooting with some of these things, and you see like the size difference. Like, those little ropes are going to do jack diddly crap.
I know.
But then it started to go back into the cave. And they're like, no, we got to draw it out.
They just got to come out. What are you doing?
I did like the fact that the Tusken Raiders were shooting, but then the people from the mining camp started throwing bombs. It's like they're all working together. Yeah. I was worried that the villagers were going to just leave.
Yeah.
But no, they stood and fought too.
Which is good.
I thought that was super
cool.
But
the thing, and then like the Marshal says, let's blow it up now. He goes, no, we got to get it out. What are you doing? You're going to start one chance to kill this thing.
Yeah, you just would have got it in the face, which wouldn't have killed it.
It wouldn't have killed it.
So they keep drawing it out, and it ends up getting far enough out, and then he's like, okay, blow it. Boom! But then it sinks back under the ground. I'm like, holy crap, it didn't do it. Mm-hmm. All those explosives, there was a lot of explosives. This thing must be tough as a mother.
That his skin must be made out of what?
I do like the fact that it popped out of the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And it shot out that nasty goo. It has like acid spit.
And it just literally, you saw 3 Tusken Raiders and they were gone.
You know what? It's like a situation that's like a 10 on the bad scale. It just went to like a 15 with that acid.
Yeah, it's like shooting out sulfuric acid.
They're melting in seconds.
So it comes back up out on the top and it's spraying from above to get as much of them as possible. It's so cool because it looks like the Mandalorian's fighting with Boba Fett. Yeah. I love the way it looks. So they fly up there and they're just trying to like get its attention to get it away from the.
Because that would kill everyone.
I'm like, shoot it in its eyeball.
Yeah, they're all boom, boom, boom.
But his eyes are super small though.
He's like, because even the Mandalorian's using like his single shot like sniper rifle thing, and it's like not even doing anything.
Yeah, his disintegration, nothing, not even damaging it. probably just taking it off.
So it climbs back underneath him, and it gets him from behind.
Yeah.
So this thing can move super fast.
And it can go through rocks like it's nothing, like it's walking. That's what it does.
Yeah.
I do like the fact it's like, I need you to get his attention, so it shoots his missile. I love that freaking Boba Fett.
I love that. Yeah.
But at least that made it go. Roar.
Yeah.
So it's coming towards him. It's like, what's the plan now? And of course, I love the little callbacks. He's like, take care of it. Just get the kid out of here. So he hits his like Boba his jetpack.
That's what Han Solo said right before he hit it by accident. What's the plan?
Yeah.
See, that's so funny. See, what a callback.
Yeah, and then how like it's so weird. Like the one little special hit will make that like rocket pack go flying.
And he knew exactly where to hit it.
Yeah. So I was like, oh.
See, he knew. See, Solo didn't. He did it by accident, but he knew what he was doing.
But I love that. See, that's a callback. It's a little funny. Yeah, was it scene a little silly, but it made sense here because of course Mandalorian would know where to hit the jetpack. So that's great.
I love it.
I'm
like, oh, they still have some of these banthas, still have a bunch of the explosives. I'm like, oh, he's gonna get it to eat the thing and make it blow up. He gets to charge him. The bantha pulls the freaking cord out, so he's trying to run away. He's like, oh no! So he's like, Mandalorian grabs it, pulls it onto him, and then it eats him and the thing. I'm like, oh, he's gonna have to just get it from the inside.
Mm-hmm.
It goes underground, and everyone's like kind of standing around like,
what's happening?
What's happening? Comes back out, and then we see that the Mandalorian was shocking it from the inside with his shock rifle.
So it opened its mouth.
Just to get out, then he hits the detonation and boom, blows it up from the inside.
And then he lands perfectly, like so cool. Like, oh my god, this guy's so bad.
Look at this thing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. So yeah, it blew it up from the inside.
That thing's got to be almost over 100 plus feet. Dude.
Yeah, because look how small the people are.
Yeah.
And they're chopping it up for the meat and everything. And then I like how the Mandalorian took some too.
Yeah.
He took a hunk of meat.
And it looks like the little guy's trying to eat.
Yeah, he's like, look, yeah. I want to get it tastes so good. It's really hard to get, but it's delicious.
It's really tough.
Guy's like, hey man, you earned it.
Yep.
He gives him back the armor, and he's like, when you take it back, don't tell him I'm not the one who busted all this up. It was like this when I got it. I thought that was pretty funny. And I hope our paths cross again and everything, which I do. I hope we see this guy again.
The only thing about Greta's show, how come all the cool people he meets, they don't become a team? I want them to be a permanent team just going around the galaxy.
I thought it was interesting. I don't know if this is going to have any relevance. When they're digging around the body, they pull out what looks like a pearl, or it could be an egg, or we don't know what it is, but they're like, all the Tuscans.
But I can think sand can do that too.
Yeah, like a clam. When it takes enough slime, it can make
I'm thinking since it would come out of the sand you eat, maybe it still had sand in its mouth.
And it collects.
Yeah.
And it makes a pearl, like a clam.
That's probably worth a lot.
So, or maybe it's religious to them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, hopefully these people maybe even do like a trading route with the Tusken Raiders and they become friends.
Exactly.
And you never know. Maybe if they become such good friends, maybe the Raiders can change some of their, ways of being Raiders. They can be traitors.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then I just love the fact that the celebration, they get the classic. I love it. See, those are callbacks that everyone loves.
And it makes sense when they're doing them.
So there we go. He got the armor back. He saved the town. But we see someone watching from the ridge. And we see, look at this dude, like, oh, what the hell is this guy? Turns around, he's bald, and he kind of has scars on his face. That's Boba Fett.
I'm calling it, it's Boba Fett.
It has to be.
Because even if you look at him, freeze frame it on his face, the buzz cut, he looks like a clone.
Yeah. I've always had a hard time to wait for next week's episode of this, but there's never been a time I want to see the second episode right now because I'm going to see who this guy is.
Wouldn't he be older? Because remember, Rex fought.
Yeah, they do.
And he had a great beard.
Well, actually, wait a minute, no. He's a perfect clone. He's a perfect clone.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, because, I want one to be like my son.
Like my son.
Jango Fett.
So he would raise normally. He wouldn't be advanced in age.
So this is Boba Fett,
This is Boba Fett.
Oh my god, can you give me the... He looks pretty pissed.
Yes.
Well, that's his armor, but it's a Mandalorian. He just has to do is talk to him.
But, once you lose your armor, you lose everything,
so
right?
So maybe he's no longer he's a Mandalorian.
So you would have to, and also maybe he's pissed, but also maybe, he's lost within himself. He lost his armor.
Because he could have found a way to get off this planet already.
Yeah,
he started doing what he wanted.
But he can't.
Who knows?
So he's just stuck.
Maybe he felt like I had to recover my armor.
Yeah.
But then wouldn't you have known that guy? I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. It's Boba Fett. Even if this storyline never goes anywhere, in my mind and in my heart, it's.
We have to wait till the second episode.
I bet you they don't even talk about this guy.
Come on.
Oh, that would suck.
That would be so cheap. That would be mad. No.
Yeah, they don't bring it up ever.
You can't do that.
He's leaving Tatooine after this. He's the Mandalorian's not hanging around here.
Oh, maybe it is. Maybe he just became a nomad because he lost his armor and he's like, I'm not.
Maybe it could just be a callback. You're right, and that's it.
That's it.
So us the fans know that Boba Fett.
Yeah, but John Favreau, they're gonna be bothering him. Is that really Boba Fett? Everyone's gonna keep asking him that.
Well, we don't know. It's whatever he wanted to be.
See how excited we are talking about this? how happy we are and how great it is, and we're not really seeing any faults. And then people complained about this episode. Why? It was incredible.
It was
great.
It's just like when he went to that other village and saved it.
That's what Mandalorian's.
That's what he's doing. He's trying to find information. He's
got to do. He has to do his mission.
What would you want him to do? Go to planet? Oh, we don't need any help. Okay, next planet. Like,
have you ever watched a Star Wars thing? They do that all the time, saving people, and that's what they do.
But end of the first episode, pretty dang cool.
I loved it.
I love the art at the end of each episode.
Oh, yeah, they do like the art book type stuff.
I want to hang these on my wall.
Every single one of these pictures could be a framed thing.
Oh, yeah, it could. Especially with supposedly Boba Fett with the twin sons.
Yeah, I love the two sons.
Yeah, that was
I gotta
so
say
sick.
this again. My goodness. Wasn't Favreau and the other producer take over the Star Wars movies. They know what they're doing. And the Lane Kennedy needs to be fired now. That's incredible.
This is gonna be my screenshot. Look how cool that looks. Awesome. That's so badass.
Especially that is Boba.
Oh man, I love Boba.
And it's so nice to finally review something that I love. It is so nice.
It's fun to watch. It's enjoyable.
Yeah. Now, one time did we pause and we're like we do when we watch Star Trek. None of that.
And here's the thing: at the very least, were you not entertained? I was very entertained. And I didn't get those feelings like, meh. See, the only thing I can say is, why don't they just load up a bunch of banthas with explosives and do it from the very beginning?
Yeah, they could have, but...
Well, maybe they were thinking just maybe figured it might damage it too much, because they wanted the stuff for the surrenders. And that probably would have obliterated it.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, I'm just saying, that's the only thing I can think of, but yeah, that's just a minor
detail.
Nitpick.
But, so, and I love the once a week. I love it, because now we can just...
We
can stew in the fact of, is this freaking Boba Fett? So we have to sit there and let it sit in our stomachs and turn around.
Instead of spoiling it all.
I watched all the episodes in one night because I'm a person that can't freaking wait for crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you can't really enjoy it that way.
Yeah, you just, you paid for this freaking like $200 steak and you just grabbed it and started ate it in 2 seconds.
Yeah, instead of going
and having conversation and talking about it and enjoying yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're heathens.
Definitely.
But I can't wait for next week.
Yes, it's gonna be exciting.
I can't wait. I'm gonna say it again. Wow, talk about starting off strong for the new season.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.